What is poppin' YouTube? Back again with another video. Today we're doing my 5 moves you must be making before Sunday's games to make sure that you are getting ready for week 1. Of course, we just had the amazing game between the Chiefs and Lions. Football's back, baby. But let's go. So my first move you must be making is picking up 2 guys from the Green Bay Packers organization. You should be picking up Jayden Reed because Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are out. But if you need a starting tight end spot, something happened with Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce was out. You need someone to replace Travis Kelce. I really do like Luke Musgrave this week as well as a deep tight end sleeper. We got first-year starter Jordan Love taking over the reins in this offense. What does a first-time quarterback really like? He likes an athletic tight end, and that is exactly what Luke Musgrave is. So I'd be targeting Luke Musgrave. I'd also be targeting Jayden Reed because Jayden Reed will be the wide receiver 1. And as much as we think that they're going to be running the ball with A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, they're playing against the Bears. This could turn into a high-scoring game with the Bears defense being pretty bad and the Green Bay Packers defense being on the fringe. So I will be buying into the hype of Luke Musgrave and Jayden Reed, especially when you're looking at teams that maybe took a super late round running back flyer where you have like an RB3 or even an RB2 that's in a low rushing attempt offense. I might consider adding in a Luke Musgrave if I need tight end depth or a wide receiver here with Jayden Reed. My second move that I'm going to be making is I'm going to be looking straight in the eyes of another tight end and saying, Dalton Kincaid, if you are my waiver wire, welcome to the team. I think the hype for Dalton Kincaid continues to build, and this could be the moment that you snag Dalton Kincaid before Sunday's slate when if he goes off as a rookie tight end, you just know everybody will be looking to add him next week. A good risk play that I sometimes like to do is when you could see the potential breakout happening and it's a 50-50 shot, then I like to risk it for the biscuit, add that guy to the back end of my team, and then we will see what happens. Because let's be honest, as much as we like Gabe Davis, Dalton Kincaid, if he continues to play in the slot, which is what the assumption's been, that's what the beat reporters for the Bills have been saying all offseason, and that he's been dominating, that if he catches a touchdown, catches 3 for 40 yards and a touchdown, people are going to be all over Dalton Kincaid. And so a thing you can do is if you already have a tight end and you have some extra spots on your bench that you're just kind of feeling about, maybe take a risk on Dalton Kincaid. You can flip him for something next week, and or you hold him and add an extra depth piece at tight end that you know has elite level upside at the 10-8 spot, because that's what we're trying to get outside of Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson. Like, those guys are pretty much the only guys you even feel decently about. And even sometimes like with a Kyle Pitts or George Kittle, you're feeling lost a lot more than you feel found. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to my third move to make for fantasy football is going to be looking at Sean Tucker. Looking at Sean Tucker this week. Sean Tucker, for as much as he was an undrafted free agent picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's currently the RB2. He passed Chase Edmonds on the depth chart. And one thing happens to White, and that means that probably Rachaad White is going to be getting a ton of touches. But if Rachaad White, for some reason, gets injured, it's going to be the Sean Tucker show. And I know it's going to be a terrible offense, but having running backs that provide some type of upside is interesting. And if when we were evaluating Sean Tucker, a lot of people were saying 3rd, 4th round. And you're all of a sudden getting a 3rd, 4th type rookie running back that's on an offense that's going to be struggling. It's going to need to score the ball, throw the ball. And Sean Tucker had the build. A lot of people compared Sean Tucker to Nick Chubb. That's what we were comparing him to on the season. And of course, he had that health issue that really caused him to slide down draft boards. But if he can get any type of playing time, I would not be surprised, because Sean Tucker is a very great running back. It just did not work out for him with the draft capital. I might be taking a waiver wire shot at Sean Tucker this week. Same exact thing with Dalton Kincaid. If we could see these breakouts potentially happening and you have an extra spot and you maybe need some RB depth based on maybe you took Jonathan Taylor, you took Alvin Kamara, and you need some guys that could potentially provide some values in these first few weeks before those guys get back, then I would definitely take a look at Sean Tucker. And this is like my final piece of advice, and I think a lot of times we in the fantasy space, we love these flyers. Like I just talked about 4 guys that I would love to pick up. And you go out and you go say, screw it, Zach Charbonnet, I'm picking up Jayden Reed. Screw it, Dalvin Cook, I'm going to go get some Dalton Kincaid. And while those moves, like in maybe week 1 won't hurt you, those are the type of dumb moves that if you do that over a few moves per season, that'll cause you to not win championships because you're not patient. And so I highly encourage you that as we're talking about these moves to make, that even me, as I make this content, as I talk to you, we don't get super excited about the potentials of what could be. And sometimes we just take the guaranteed what we know is could be, like with the Dalvin Cook, even though he is playing alongside Breece Hall, knowing that that guy's going to get touches compared to maybe someone like a Sean Tucker. I would just encourage you, as you're looking at your roster, let's be really smart about the moves we make, because especially if you're playing in a waiver wire system where, you know, it's like the last, if you haven't made a move, you get first priority. Hold that first priority until you really need it, until someone comes available on waivers that you're like, yep, that's the guy. That sometimes happens after week 1, week 2, week 3, especially in those first 3 weeks. Having that waiver wire flexibility to get the guy that you want is almost more important than sometimes adding a whole bunch of guys off waivers that might potentially be it. Another strategy that I would have for you is just start your studs in week 1. Don't get cute when you're looking like, did I draft this guy in the 6th round, and you're comparing the start versus the guy in the 9th. Now, there's going to be a ton of availability for start sits here in the next few weeks. I mean, I put out a video talking about start sits this week. I just think it's going to be hard, really, really, really hard for you to say, yep, I'm going to be debating, should I start between Ramondre Stevenson and Dameon Pierce? And like when you say stuff like that, it's like, well, you drafted Ramondre Stevenson earlier. Play the most talented player in your lineup, and that's what I would do week in and week out. So fantasy football can be hard. These are the moves I'd be making before week 1. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Tomorrow we're going to be putting out trade targets to potentially go get on a Saturday. Have a great Friday, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.